So I have some initial thoughts on Diablo 4, and just to keep things in perspective, um, played Diablo 1 not really that much when it first came out. And I stopped playing it right away. I played Diablo 2 quite a bit back in the 2000s, and I played Diablo 3 obviously since the day it launched. And I've loved Diablo 3. Mostly. I hated it in some points and then loved it at other times. But I'm going to make a longer video later on this. But just my initial thoughts on Diablo 4 right now. It's been a frustrating game so far. It's been a mix of love and hate. And for me, if you're getting into it or thinking about getting into it or thinking about buying it, it's weird. It's hard to say. I've got all these mixed feelings. Levels 1 to 20, I found very fun. I played a rogue to start, levels 1 to 20. I played a rogue. At around 20, I sort of hit a wall that I found annoying. And then I started to think to myself, I don't really know if I like the rogue's play style, so I think I might go down to Barb. And do Whirlwind, since Whirlwind is very similar to God DH, but in Diablo 3, I played a lot of, Demon Hunter and multi-shot Demon Hunter, so, I figured I wouldn't mind the Rogue. I find the campaign to be fairly repetitive, but I don't really like games where you have to go do a task to unlock something, or to keep doing those tasks to unlock things like experience and item things. I find it to feel like work almost, and I don't like that. In Diablo 3, when I used to hate bounties. I don't like bounties. I almost never, ever did them ever. Um, yeah, but I love greater rifts. I love rifting, and I love that. So I think that has been a bit of an issue in Diablo 4 for me, is that it's a little bit more geared toward that sort of bounties, you know, you must do this because that's a campaign anyway. You have to go to this area to put the chalice on the treasure thing, just as the moonlight hits 2 p.m. It's just I hate doing that stuff. So the campaign, as far as what I've been doing in it, it was fun in the first act, and then the second, third, and fourth, and I would say fifth. I would say that the second, third, and fourth act were insufferable for me. But I will say that I think the campaign did get a little bit better towards the end, and I think the story throughout was good. It was pretty good. So the campaign story and the story of Diablo 4 is pretty good, although it has some questionable canon type of things that we'll talk about in another video. But the campaign itself and the story was interesting to me. But I find myself, I think I might have liked Diablo 3 a little bit better because the campaign was shorter. You just kind of, you went and did a task, you killed the bad guy, then you did the next task, and you killed the bad guy, and you did the next task, and they were faster, I feel like. So overall, this game it's really going to become about the end game, so, and when I did side events, I found those to be somewhat fun. And honestly, I there weren't a lot of time. I felt underpowered most of the game. I found a build that I liked, and then I found a better version of the build I liked through build people's made builds online already. Somebody's Twisted Blades build was a little bit better than what I had put together, so I was like, oh well, there's the build I use, but it's better. I'll use that, and so that it became a little bit funner. I would say maybe around level 30, it got a little fun again. So from levels 20 to 30, I did not enjoy anything. And once I learned some other things about obols and the gambling and where to gamble and what's going on with aspects, putting aspects on it's like crucial that you put those things on. So once I figured that stuff out, things got a little funner. But Also, I don't know if it's because I hit level 40, but when I got to Act 6 at the very, very end, I could not compete. The level said it rose to 45, and I was competing in a 45 zone as a level 38. And what ended up happening is I'd made a couple tweaks, and then I could compete, although I was squishy. I was super, like, dying all the time. But then level 40 and 42 gear and stuff like that started dropping, and I started getting huge power-ups in my level and my gear. And I don't know if that's because I was close to level 40, or if just higher gear drops in Act 6 in that, like, hell area. I don't know. I actually don't know. I don't know the answer to that. But when that happened, it was fun again. So at level 40, things began to get fun again for me because items started dropping finally. But the tedious tasks of the campaign, man, I'll tell you what, I never want to play this campaign again. I never want to do it. I hope that when there's seasons, that beating the campaign isn't part of the season, because I'll tell you, if beating the campaign is part of a season, I don't think I'll play the seasons, because I can't stand the campaign. I actually hate it. This is why I don't play World of Warcraft. So I'm concerned about that. Now, I'm about, I'm level like 42 or something, and I'm about to beat Lilith, but the glitch happened at the end of the game for me. Like a game progress breaking glitch happened, and I still haven't figured that out yet. But so I just turned the game off, and I'll figure it out later today after work. But so overall, I would just say that I found, and I like doing dungeons are okay. I like doing dungeons to unlock aspects. I think that's kind of worth it. And then I like cellars. I like dropping down those little cellars. I like treasure goblins showing up. But in my head, I can't help but think, man, all the things I love and all the things I really enjoy, like, are in D3. At this point. I mean, who would have thought that, when D3 first came out, you'd just be like, man, I wish this was D2. What's going on? And then eventually you fall in love with D3, and I've loved it so much I've been playing it since it came out, 2012. But I remember when I really was like, this isn't Diablo 2, what is going on? And I was confused, and I wasn't happy, essentially. But the funny thing is, Diablo 2 is like its own game that they never really will replicate. Path of Exile is like Diablo 2 on crack or something, but it's too smart for me. I can't deal with it. But Diablo 3 now is a game that I really love, and I love the seasons of Diablo 3, and it's become a perfect game for me. A lot of people don't even know that because they stopped playing Diablo 3 years ago, and they were like, Diablo 3 sucks, and I'll never play that again. And to this day, they're like, yeah, that game sucks. They don't even know that Diablo 3 got way better in the last 5 years, or last 2, or whatever. I mean, they've added so much stuff to the seasons to make the seasons wicked fun. I don't know. But so will that happen with Diablo 4? Maybe that's something that will happen with Diablo 4. They also nerfed the 2 classes that I'm playing. I'm playing the Rogue Two-Bladed, whatever it's called. And then I'm playing the Barb, Whirlwind Barb. And they nerfed literally the 2 things that I chose to play. And I chose to play them because I just thought I liked their play style. And they're going to be nerfed. So anyway, my initial thoughts of Diablo 4 are that it's, overall, I would give it a thumbs up. But it's been kind of a frustrating up and down of I'm enjoying it a lot to this really sucks. So I've been all over the place with it. Overall, I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10. So at level, 42, whatever I am, we'll see what happens next and where things go. But I think it's a pretty decent casual player's experience because I've had to go back to work recently, pretty full time. And I haven't had the time to play the game like I used to play. I could have played anytime I wanted, all day or whatever. But now I'm full-time at work again. But I was full-time at work when Diablo 2012 came out, Diablo 3. So I think it's a decent comparison. So far I'd probably say that the game is a you know, it's been fun. I think it would have been funner if there was less of a long, sort of tedious campaign of things to do, and if the end game stuff is all about, you know, going and collecting and bounties, then that's going to really bother me, because I'd rather just slash things in a field than, which would stink if that's all you were doing, than, you know, have to keep going on errands forever. I don't like that. So I'd probably say an 8 out of 10 for this game. Right now, I feel like it's been an 8 out of 10. Maybe like a 7.8, you know, and give it the round up to 8. So yeah, I've had a really good time. 30%, I'd say 30% of the time I've really loved it. And the rest of the time it just feels like I'm just like doing things I have to do because I have to grind it to whatever. And we'll see if those things pay off. What does everybody think? I'm not being very specific in this. I'll talk more about it specifically in a longer video later. And who knows how many people will even see this. All right, that's it. I'm done.